Hey everybody, Rhadamant here. Thanks for tuning in to Stationeers. So, this episode I am going to cover, let's turn this stuff off. I'm not really using it anymore. Does the vending machine even have an off switch? Oh yeah, it does on back. Alright. Bye-bye. No, landing pad. Oh, because they're flying away. It's forced on right now. Yeah, so I had a lot of feedback from you guys about the landing pad. I wasn't really going to keep trading. Trading is very basic, in my opinion. Eventually, you're going to get a lot of interesting things to do when contacted by... Okay, no, it's still not going off. You're going to get a lot of interesting things to do when contacted by people, but for now, it's... What? Oh, there it goes. But it's pretty simplified now. Okay, whatever. 100 watts, not going to be a big deal. All right, so one thing I wanted to do this episode is set up just one sort of trade bench type thing. The reason one is because once you set up one, all of the others are very much the same. So that's why I didn't want to... I'm not going to set up like 10 of them or whatever. I'm just going to set up one for, let's say, an electronics printer. I just want to show you how I would do... There's a bunch of different ways to do automatic sort of maintaining of stations and all that. And I'll show you one way. I don't really care the way that this is facing. I'm just going to close these. I'm just getting them out of the way. My argument for just showing one is I want to show you sort of novel things, and setting up one is novel, setting up four is redundant, and you might as well just watch the same setup 4 times if you want to see it 4 times. And that is actually why I haven't done a lot of projects in this, to be honest, because I feel like they're redundant. So, for instance, some people are asking for me to break down my starting area, but it's like, why would you want to watch that? I actually literally don't understand why that would be entertaining, watching me just annihilate, yeah. All right, so I digress. Let's go ahead and build ourselves another e-printer. I think that is a autolathe task. Gold, iron, copper. And, of course, this bench is full of pretty much everything we're going to need. Except for it comes out. There's a oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Gold, copper. A little low on gold, but probably have enough for this. Alright, so the e-printer is being cranked out. You know what I could do is actually just break down this e-printer, and then, yeah, that's what I'll do. And that way I have all the materials I need anyway. And then I'll just print up a new one to throw back down there. Alright. So here's my electronics printer. Let's go build it. Cable coils. I'll just use the cable coils I have on me. Alright, plastic sheets. Gotta go get those. And welding them, and then using the screwdriver to finish the construction. Okay, so we have a little printer in the bottom there. Oh, you know what I can do? A little portable light. Yeah, let's move this right here.
Light off.
Maybe a little closer to the edge so we can see a little better.
Light.
Good enough. If I really wanted to take the time, I could set up lights in that basement, but portable's fine. Okay, the electronics printer's almost done. I guess it wouldn't hurt to eat a potato while we wait. So I'm going to use a logic computer. The reason for that is I haven't really shown one yet. It's not necessarily the best way to set up stacking and shoot systems, but I'm going to demonstrate it because I just haven't done a logics computer yet. Oh, I already had a potato. Good. Well, now I have two. All right, so here's a new printer. We're going to want iron sheets for it. Where'd the first iron sheet just sort of disappeared, didn't it? Maybe I'm just seeing things. Maybe it's a Halloween ghost or something. Alright. Cable coils. Plastic sheets. I know I can make them, but I might have them down here. If I do, I might as well use them. Yeah, I do. If you're wondering why I need two electronics printers, it's only because I'm just demoing the system down below. Oh, yeah, there was an iron sheet in there. I thought so. I just couldn't get it out. All right. What do I want? I want a stacker. Or a, where is stackers made? Yeah, they're made here. Iron and copper. Okay. Give me that back. Copper. Iron. I'll need one stacker. Alright. And next up, a computer. Only one of those. Okay. A logic motherboard. Suppose I can put this away. What else am I going to want here? I want some cables. So for the sake of not making it an unbelievable mess, I'm going to start putting away some of my other materials. There we go. And these cables I'm going to paint orange, or rather just put them with my orange cables, because we're going to put this on the same network. So let me start to set that up, because we have orange cables right here. There we are. I'm going to want a power controller though, so that means grabbing some solder, because I want it isolated on its own little network, just so that the logic's a little bit easier to do. Power controller, so grab my solder. And battery, we'll do a large one, so grab my steel. I put the steel away, didn't I? I did. Power controllers are useful to isolate networks. on. And then I'm going to want some chutes. There's my battery. Chutes are going to be an iron thing. Let's put the solder away. Probably not going to need that again. Maybe I will, but maybe I'm wrong. Chutes. Get a few of those. Didn't I have chutes? Oh, you know what? I might have sold them. Let me double check if I had them or if I sold them. Because I know I made too many, but then I might have sold them to the trader that came by. And nope, I had them. Cool. All right, so I'm going to set up chutes here. We are going to have a inlet, which allows you to add to a chute. So here's the input, output. Then I'm going to add a little window here, a corner, like that. And let's go get our stacker. Oh, it's in my backpack. What am I doing? Forget that. Let's get back down here. All right, my computer stacker. Okay, so here is the stacker. Make sure it faces you, like that. I'm going to increase the stack limit to 10. The computer here, I'm only, again, going to reiterate because I feel like a lot of the time, stuff I say is lost. I'm using a logic computer because I haven't done logic computing. I'm not saying it is even the right way to do this. I'm just saying it's a way for me to showcase logic computers because I haven't done that yet. So these chutes are, I guess, left over. Alright, so next up, we get some cabling. Come on. Junction, there we go. Actually, we're going to want data port as well. Maybe a three-way corner. There we go. My battery, I can toss that in. It doesn't need a battery, but it just can charge one up. Doesn't really matter. Turn this on. Let's start labeling things. Well, we don't really need to because there's really not much on this network. So, this electronics printer. Here is how I like to set up my workstations. You could set... There's so many different ways. It basically... You can use stackers and chutes to suit your needs. So you can have stackers and chutes to send to sorters and sorters to send them to bins or something. I mean, there's a bunch of different ways to do it, but I'm just showing you the very basic way. So now that we have copper in here, I can make cables. And normally as you would build a cable, this is what happens. The cable coil comes out, it goes into your stacker, and then when the stack size hits, it releases. There's also a mode to have it so that when your stack size hits, it just stores it. That's another alternative. But here's what I'm going to do. Conditions. The stacker here. Activate is off. Actions. The computer. The electronics printer on is 0. I think that's how I want to have it. Let me make sure. Let me decrease this to 2 or 1. Yep, there we go. So that's the logic. It's basically when the stacker fills up, when the stacker becomes empty again, it turns off the printer. Essentially, saving you a little bit of power and also canceling the queue. So let's say we want 10 cables to come out. We can have 10 cables come out. And that way... Oops. I must have done something wrong. Oh, stacker activate is on. There we go. Just head it backwards. And then as soon as this thing is emptied, the activate is on. And it freezes the construction. Alright, so we'll do that one more time. There was a cable coil stuck in there. Oh, the simple fact of me activating it screwed it up. And the longer you shoot systems, the more incapable this counts. So this might count +1. Yeah, so there's one extra cable coil that gets in there just because of the length of this shoot system. There's other ways to deal with it. But yeah, that's basically how I'd set up a workshop. So I guess your stack and size could be what you want -1, and then you get exactly what you want. It all depends on the shoot length. The next thing I want to show to all of you guys, maybe one of the last things, in fact. Well, you can also, so interestingly enough, you can change the stack size of your copper, or really any ingot. This is one way to change your ingot size. So as you can see here, I'm spraying out. All right, let's stop that. I'm spraying out ingots of you know, teeny 9-gram ingots, and you could split it all the way down to 1-gram ingots if you wanted to create chaos, because you'd create hundreds of them and it'd be a big cleanup. So now what I'm doing is I'm sending them all back through, and I'm creating one unified stack of 108. All right. I just wanted my ingots, but I forgot the stacker was going to screw that up. Okay, so stacker is also useful splitting things that otherwise would not be splittable. You can't normally split ingots, but the stacker can. How? I don't know. It doesn't make a lot of sense, but it works like that. So another thing I wanted to show is the ground penetrating radar. I hadn't really done a whole lot of mining on screen, so that is something else I could show. So that large battery I was just using a moment ago, we're going to go grab it. So it should be all charged up. Yoink. And then I need cartridges. What is it? Cartridge or scanner. Let's do, well, all right, let's have the color ore scanner and then the normal one. Iron and silicon. My iron is in here. As you can see, this is a very expensive recipe requiring you to have a little bit of like every alloy. And then I'll show you the regular color too, which is cheaper. All right, I'll show you the regular one first. So for this to work, we need to grab our tablet. Battery is high, that's good. Put in the ore scanner. Oop, I am making a mess of my inventory here. One second. There we go. So, we turn on the tablet, and as you can see, it's just white noise, gray fuzz. You have to run the ground penetrating radar, turn it on, and then click the button, and it will flash, meaning it's scanning the area. And as you can see, now I have... There's a little bit of three-dimensional aspect here, and you could kind of tell where there's ore. So there's ore like underneath me right now. Now I don't want to terraform around my my base here because it's so pretty. I didn't really mine around here, so I'm going to use this elsewhere. But yeah, now the color ore scanner will show you different colors based upon the types of materials that you're able to find. So I forget off the top of my head what each color means. All right, so red means iron, nickel, or iron or nickel. Cyan is ice or lead. Green is gold or silver. Magenta is coal or silicon. Yellow is copper or oxide. And white is volatiles or uranium. So let's go put that to practice. Let's say I'm trying to find gold or silver. Let's call myself a gold miner. So let's travel away from the base a bit. Drop my ground penetrating radar. Hit the scanner. And I should be looking for green. Scan. Wow, there is nothing around here. Okay, well that's good to know. Let's try this way. Now I know there are some gold nodes around me. Alright, see, this will give you a good... You see the surface here. This will give you a good sort of idea. So the coal here, or the copper here, should come up as yellow. And as you can see, it is indeed yellow. And then the volatiles over there ought to be white. Or grayish. And as you can see, it is the sort of a white grayish. So it's exactly what you'd expect. And then there's something underneath me here that is cyan, and that would be ice or lead. No gold still, so let's keep hunting. And I'm just demoing. Oh, so what was here? That's a good question. I can probably physically check. Or purple. So this is coal or silicon. And it would be silicon in this case. So here is some iron. Let's set it up here. And we got a hint of green right sort of below me there. And just to prove this thing works, I will mine to it. It's probably only one thing of the material. But there it is. We found gold. Yeah, we found some underground cavern. But yeah, that's how the ground penetrating radar works. I never, ever, ever would have been able to find that gold without it, obviously. And as you can see, if we get closer, it shows you... Here, I'm turning the light off. You can kind of see that green tint there. And then the radar here is shown in the sort of bright red. Alright, so that is that. Trying to think of some other things to show you guys before really the end of this series, because I'm definitely running out of things to do. Let's put this away. Actually, let's turn it off. And put it away. Stacking, yeah. I guess some advanced cooking, right? So I don't know if I'm going to make an entire chicken farm here, but I would say a good last thing to make would be a pumpkin pie. Yeah. So, are my benches here even wired up? I'm going to go check. It would be a shame if I start to making the pumpkin pie and
Jetpack on.
I wasn't able to. Oh, they are wired on. Beautiful.
Jetpack on.
So, to make pumpkin pie, you need flour, egg, milk, and 1 pumpkin. So flour is made when you put wheat in the reagent processor. Oh, and it looks like we have pumpkin in there. So, let's work towards a pumpkin pie. I also could show you how to make different paints. But here's my wheat. We need the eggs from over here. Now, it used to be that you had a very, very limited amount of things like pumpkins and wheat and eggs, and you couldn't get them killed, or you couldn't lose them, because if you did, you'd be permanently screwed, basically. That's really not so much the situation anymore because of the added trade, and there's also the... Oops, I didn't mean to open my helmet.
Critical. Helmet opened.
There's also one other reason why
Helmet
it's not
closed. Low
a permanent
pressure.
problem, and I'll show you in just a second. That's another object I could build. Tablets away. Where is the... I think it's only maybe fabricated. So the where is it? I'm not even really the organic printer here. Oh, it's called organic printer. Let me make sure it's not over here too. No. The organics printer is a really weird printer, if you ask me, actually. The reason why I think it's weird is, well, you can make something from nothing, is why I find it weird. So we need to put gold, steel, and electrum in there. So gold, steel. We barely have enough gold for that, but all right. And electrum. So the way the organics printer works is it takes an insane amount of power. Oh, okay. So actually, the simple manufacturing of the organics printer blew out our cables here, because the organics printer itself, the making one, requires an insane amount of power as well. So let me turn off this fabricator. The way I'm going to handle this is... Here is one really makeshift way to do it. I'm going to cannibalize the APC that I have down here,
Jetpack on.
because I'm not really using this the setup down here. And if you want to have... If you want to print something up but not really redo your entire cable network, etc., etc., what I could do is I could put a nuclear battery in here that's nice and powered up, like the one in my ship here. There's enough power in here for it. I'm gonna charge this one up. Put a small battery in there. It will drain this small battery entirely. Where's my heavy cables? I think they were actually in the bin over here. And temporarily put this on a heavy cable network so it can print. As you can see, it's draining the bejesus out of that battery. Battery's already dead, but we didn't have any blowouts. Yep. That's one way to do it. All right, Mr. Nuclear Battery, you can finish off the organics printer. And now we don't have any shorts or anything like that. So an organics printer, what it does is it takes power and creates organic stuff. So the only place that I really could put an organics printer is somewhere on a heavy cable network. So I'm going to put one here because I could tap into the heavy cables that come off of those batteries. Putting it on any other network wouldn't work all that well because I would end up with cable blowouts. I guess what I could put it is on the HVAC system where the heaters are connected to. That would work too, but it would be, it'd be sort of a temporary solution. All right, so let's put the fabricator cables back because we don't need the don't need to print an organics print anymore. And then I can even put the APC back, so we don't end up cannibalizing our base too badly. All right, let me get the rest of the heavy cables so I can show you organics printing. So that is a way that if you, let's say you accidentally destroy all your eggs or pumpkins or something like that, and you don't want to go looking for an organics trader to make a new one, you could just print it up. It just takes an insane amount of power, and only a heavy cabled network will be able to power it up. So let's go ahead and build... Fertilized egg is the most expensive by far. We're going to make a pumpkin. And this is drawing an insane amount of power. I don't have my network analyzer on me right now, but I can tell you that is exactly what it's doing. Fertilized eggs would be the most expensive, so it draws a ton of power, and it requires a ton of power. But it is a nice failsafe in case you accidentally find yourself without some sort of seed. So if you have like a total crop failure, it's a way to recover crops without, trading for it, I guess. So what was I doing? Back to the pie, yes. So we need milk. Milk is actually soy oil and phenoxyetone powder. Phenoxyetone powder is ferns. So we have a lot of soy in the base, but we need our ferns. I know I haven't done anything with the flowers either, but I never use them. So here's my ferns. And then pumpkin. We need good old-fashioned pumpkin. So I don't really need the rest of this stuff. Let's go... We are printing a pumpkin right now, just because I wanted to demo it, but let me get the pumpkins that we've grown over here. You're cycling. Yeah, you're cycling.
Helmet opened. Oxygen critical.
Alright, so there's one pumpkin. Here's two pumpkins. I'm going to waste all these potatoes. So, we have 3 pumpkins planting. I think that's good for Halloween, right? Alright, let's get back outside.
Helmet.
Closing my helmet. I didn't even do atmo analyzation here. Seems fine. We have a little N2 in here, because maybe I used my jetpack, but that's not going to kill any crops. Open sesame. Alrighty. Let's check the... So, given my enormous amount of solar power, I don't really need to worry about tapping out the power creating a pumpkin. But as you can see here, it is a long process. You definitely want to take care of your seeds. Yeah, and not end up seedless. right, let's go up to our labs up here. So the first thing we're going to want is to make some flour, which is made in the reagent processor. Well, that was weird.
Light.
Well, we've got 99.9%, 9997 battery life. Our HAC, Atmo, okay, yeah, usage looks good. Everything looks good. In fact, I'm going to do this chemistry without my suit on. I should probably turn the filters and stuff off. No, I'm going to need my backpack, though. Alright, so the first thing I wanted to do is the reagent mixer. So, open the insert... What do I want? I want to insert 1 wheat. And 2 wheat. So there is 10 flour. Good. Because a pumpkin pie takes... Oh, actually, a pumpkin pie takes 100 grams of flour. That's more wheat than I currently have. I did not realize that. I would need a lot of wheat for this, but that's okay. It also takes 1 egg. It takes 10 milliliters of milk. So milk is a combination of soy oil and phenoxyetone powder. Phenoxyetone powder is just ferns. So let me stick all of my ferns into the reagent processor. So here is my fern powder. If I could... Come on. Oh my god. Really have to use my jetpack. The issue here is milk is going to be... I'm going to need 5 more ferns and like a whole bunch more flour. And then it requires an egg. In my egg carton here, I do have 6 eggs. And it only takes 1. No, I want to pick you up. Actually, I'm going to separate 1 egg out. There. It's a fertilized egg, but it's an egg nonetheless. Egg carton and pumpkin.
Light off. Helmet open. Helmet closed.
Alright, so I would need 5 more ferns and 15 more wheat to do this.
Light on. Jetpack on.
And obviously, using the... This seems to have not progressed. It's like, not looking at it made it not work. How long does it take to make a fern? Quite a long time. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat for the first time. Oh, no, we've been making pumpkins. Oh, okay, dear lord. We made some pumpkins. Okay, so yeah, it was just reprinting pumpkins over and over and over. My bad. Didn't realize. Thought it was bugged or something. Alright, so I am not gonna wait for that printer to crank out a bunch of you know what, I'm not gonna cheat. I am going to try to trade for it. How's that sound? So this is the case where you would want to trade. So I am going to try to find a organics trader here. Alright, everything is on. Yes, everything is on. Alright, talking to you. You have permission to land. Still making your first fern, huh? Alright, let's see about this trader. This trader has... Okay. Depart. You don't have what we need. So I'm looking for, like a farm goods trader. There's a contact. About 60 degrees. Nope, wrong way. There's easier ways to do this with dials and whatnot. I just didn't want to rework the system. Color Corp. That's not going to be whom I want. That's going to be paint cans of color. There's another contact. Alright, paint cans of color. Yeah, depart. Goodbye. Sorry you used all your landing fuel. They don't actually have fuel. Alright, here's another contact. Because I still think this is going to be faster than Hall Corp. They probably have walls. I don't know. There's probably a full list online somewhere, but I don't have it memorized. Alright, so there's my ferns. As you can see, they're just landing there. Hall Corp. Oh, you have access keys. Okay. Well, that's boring. Depart. Goodbye. Maybe I will cheat. If I can't find the trader I'm looking for. Oh, just found one. But I'm probably going to have to rotate all the way around to get to talk to him. So 350 degrees. All I want to do is buy some wheat. I do have a lot of stuff that people would want. The ore scanners I'm going to sell. Because I have my credit card ready. And I don't know, what else can I sell? I can sell my potatoes. I guess I should be more concerned about finding the required trader. Another Hall Corp? Boo! Alright, I might be out of options here. I might just console the ingredients in. Because I've already shown what trading looks like, so it's not like it's novel at this point. And the traders that are currently in the area are not... I'm doing like a full scan, so I did a scan at 45 degrees around... Oh, here we go. Here's some contacts. You. ChemLab. Okay. I don't think they're going to have what we need. But maybe the other contact will. ChemLab, you've got potato... Oh, no, this is me selling. Sure, I will sell you that stuff. And have you... As you could... Oh, they have wheat. Oh, very nice. So we needed 15 wheat. Okay, so for us to get 15 wheat from this ChemLab... I'm going to need to give them something worthy. Because I don't have a... What will you take for silver? Yeah, what will you take for silver? Not a whole lot. I can buy 6 wheat off of them. That's it. Clearly, I'm going to need to find something more valuable. Let me go see about my raw crops, how valuable they are. I actually don't know the prices of everything off the top of my head, because why would I ever know that? Okay, let me in. So I'm going to go get my buckets of potatoes and see if they buy that. And what else I can muster up. Maybe sell some of my my pumpkins, because I printed up a whole bunch of pumpkins as well. So I only need the one. Alright, instead of harvesting all this stuff, let's see about selling these buckets of potatoes. I will cure your potato famine problems. What else do we have in here? We have a random pipe. No one's going to want that. We do have a hard suit. Night vision goggles, that kind of stuff. Maybe they'll take it. We have a nuclear battery. They ought to take that. I wonder if it's worth more charged or not. I don't know off the top of my head. Open. I hate when it says nil and it's still not letting you out. Alright, so nuclear battery, suit, helmet, goggles. Will you take my already eaten baked potato? What about my medical pill? I don't need that. Watch me immediately need it. Alright, trade. Potatoes are worth a ton of money. Alright, so we... yeah. We're going to be able to buy our wheat. What else? The hard suit, helmets, nuclear battery was worth a ton as well. Night vision goggles not worth much. The baked potato not worth much, but the medical pill I'm going to keep. So we are going to buy... $20 wheat. Oh, the chem lab doesn't even have the required money to front for that. So we're going to buy 34 wheat. All right, you can depart. I'm going to go contact this guy. No, it's the wrong. All right, so vend my pill back to me and vend my wheat back to me. Well, there we go. Fairly successful trade there. Oh, they're selling a pumpkin pie, and I can just buy it outright. Well, I'm not going to cheat. I want to earn it. They're also selling milk straight up, too. But, again, I'd like to manufacture it for myself. So, depart. Let's see if we can contact any more farm... Oh, here's a trader. So 77, 87, 93. There we go. Boom. They have hydraulics stuff. That's probably not going to be really what we're looking for. At this point, I probably could have just planted crops and it would have been faster. Yeah, they just have hydraulics stuff. Depart. There's another unknown contact. All right, 90%. Oh, no. Down. They're very down. I hate when you can't interact with it because the dish is in the way. All right, there we go. Nope. Alright, well, we probably made the ferns we needed. Instead. do believe that's true. Yep. We did just manufacture the ferns. Okay, well, let's get cooking. That was one interesting way to do it. Depart. Goodbye. So, trading has its merits, clearly. And I guess farm goods is worth a ton, so if you just manufacture a whole bunch of potatoes, you can pretty much buy whatever you want, it seems.
Helmet.
Maybe that's a little bit of an oversimplification, but that seemed about right. Alright, so we wanted wheat, or flour rather. So for one pumpkin pie, we need 100 grams of flour. We've got 25 grams there. So we want to put 15 in here. So I'm going to split that off. And then I'm going to split this in half. Put 15 wheat. Process it. And this should be 75 grams of flour, and it is. Alright. So the rest of this wheat can go into planting or whatever. And then ferns. I'm going to use every last fern I've got. And there is the powder. And to make milk, we need soy oil. So here's our 50 grams of phenoxyetone powder. Let's go upstairs and get some soy. I'll just put half. Alright. So now we, I'll put the whole thing. We're going to need to harvest some additional soy, I think. Milk is expensive stuff. No, that's not what I meant to do. Didn't mean to re-sow it. Oh, that's a potato. I'm gonna screw up my farm. Alright, so soy. Keep doing that. I don't actually think I have enough soy oil for milk, because it's 100 milliliters of soy oil, and I only have, yeah, I'm a little shy. So I'm going to cheat on this one, because I'm just taking up time that doesn't need to be taken up. So soy, bean, there's 100. Yes, I know. But I'm not going to wait for a full cycle of those plants up there. Alright, so there's my soil. Now in the chemistry station, I'm going to add... Oh, actually, no, I didn't need to do that. So there's 100 milliliter of oil, and we want 50 grams of the powder. Oh, yeah, this is a lot cheaper than I thought. My bad. Turn this on. Creating milk. Alright. And then for the pumpkin pie in the microwave. Yes, because we make it in a microwave. We want to add 1 pumpkin. We want to add 100 grams of flour. So 100 grams of flour. We want to add 1 egg. Oh, you know, I think I need a regular egg. Yeah, I need a regular egg. I'm just going to code it in because I'm impatient and I'm not going to start egg farming here. And then I need a little milk. We need 10 milliliters. So this makes a pumpkin pie. So the way you would do the eggs here, if you were curious, here's my oh, it's not done yet. So the way you would manage your eggs. Actually, let me just back down. There we go. Let me take my cartons. So the last thing I'll show you is sort of how to do chickens. Really just, there's my pie. There it is. As you can see, it's very filling. You can eat it fairly fast, and you don't need a whole lot of it. So, ta-da! The way to do chickens is normally you would just have a pressurized room, and how do I... The eggs here, the fertilized eggs, you could just put on the floor. You could, yeah, they're going to roll around because I have airflow. Put wheat on the ground for the chickens to eat when the chickens hatch. And over time, over the course of time, the eggs will hatch if they're in an environment that they find appropriate. So fertilized egg, let me just Google it real quick. So, used to hatch chicks, but only in the right conditions. Chicks will hatch after 2 minutes in the right conditions. Yes. So pressure should be somewhere between 50 to 100. Temperature somewhere between 20 to 30. Atmospheres of O2, exactly what I'm currently breathing. In fact,
Helmet closed.
helmet open. I'm just sort of curious. It used to be that you would purposely hatch them, and then it consumes, X crops amount of days, and then it lays fertilized eggs to make new chickens and lays unfertilized eggs, which hypothetically you could use a chute system to store and stack. Yes. So that is chickens in a nutshell. And I don't think I'm going to wait around for these to hatch necessarily. Because I'm not entirely sure how to do it anymore, and the wiki is really not all that useful. But, well, there you go. That's sort of the long and short of Stationeers. I think I've just about covered everything I wanted to cover in this series. For all of you that are wondering about what is going to happen to future Stationeers, ooh, throwing eggs. Yeah, I like to, oh no! My dear plants. For all of you wondering what's going to happen to future Stationeers, what I'll probably end up doing is I'm going to wait for there to be some more content. Basically wait for, some additional... Oh yeah, there we go. So here's a chick. And here's another chick. Yep. And what they're going to do is they're going to... They sort of litter up like crazy, but they're going to hop around the my farm here, eating voraciously. And about 5/6 of the time they're going to lay unfertilized eggs, which I can use for cooking. So yes, that is the long and short of it. I don't particularly enjoy taking care of chicks. It's kind of an underdeveloped part of the game, in my opinion. It could be more, complex than just and just little things that hop around. You also can't really control them. That's another issue, and you stumble on them constantly. You could create some sort of, system to have chicks where, you have their own little hatchery or whatever. That's a little side project, but that really has nothing to do with Mars survival. You don't need eggs to survive Mars anyway. But I guess if you wanted to be a chicken farmer, you could be a chicken farmer. And I would say potatoes are probably a pretty good crop to feed them. As they, as I said, have like an unnatural voracious appetite, which can only be met by eating crops. Alright guys, well, that, like I said, is about it for me. There's really not much else that I plan on adding in. I will be maybe returning back to Stationeers once there's more features and more of an end game and stuff like that to show. But there really isn't anything for me to show more than this. There was some requests for automated furnaces or for turbines and things like that, but I just don't think it's worth it, nor is it necessary for me to show that in this series. So I hope you enjoy this series, and I hope you tune into the new series that are to come. Adios, everybody.